Hey everyone, Dash here. This week, I'm queued up with Dignitas top laner, Huni. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Yo, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing quite well, but probably not as good as someone who just came off a 2-0 weekend to kick off the LCS split. Dignitas is looking real hot so far after the first week. Did you guys expect that kind of a result?
No.
No? Really?
No, I mean, honestly, like, our confidence level was, like, not that high, honestly. Like, we didn't also, like, I think, expect it that it's going to be that easy, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's, like, EG been boot camping in Korea. Like, even CLG been boot camping in Korea. And, like, Dignitas. It's not like, I'm not flaming my org. Absolutely. But, like, I was like thinking about, oh, maybe we're gonna have some disadvantage because they've been playing for a while.
Okay.
And like I got here actually kind of like late compared to other people.
Okay.
Like that was like main point that maybe only me was like not like sure enough that you're gonna go 2-0 no matter what this week. And it just happened. But I guess, I mean, that's just a Huni things, you know? Like,
yeah, it's just a Huni thing where it happens, right? No, you guys actually, you laid down the hurt. I think it was a very impressive 2-0 week. And we'll come back to that.
Got
but
it.
Before we do, we're going to rewind all the way back to 2014, 2015, where Huni's professional career began. Because you have such an interesting story. And I think the tagline to it is the idea that you have played in 3 major regions as a professional player at the top of all of those regions at a different time. You've been to the World Finals. So you've pretty much done it all, barring the championship itself. Right? But I want to talk about the motivations of a player who comes from the best region in the world, Korea. 2014, Korea is the most dominant, indisputed, most dominant region in all of League of Legends, and yet you decide to leave to go to Europe for your shot in the big leagues. So why did you make that decision? Where did that move come from?
Yeah, I mean, like, first of all, I think I gotta say, go back to my personally, as a Huni, the type of the people is like I'm the more like looking for adventures. You know what I mean? Like I'm enjoying like the trying a new thing. That's why you can easily see my timeline of my team is like I've been playing for 6 years or 7 years, but I already have like 7 teams, like 8 teams. That's already like that's not a like normal thing.
Right.
It's just like I want to try more. Like even though I like dominated the EU LCS, but I decide to go to NA LCS to dominate again, just trying out. And I guess it's kind of like similar things between like when I was an LCK kind of like practicing team. Like I want to try the new thing. I would like to go to other side of like not my country because I feel like I think I can be back in LCK kind of like pretty much just every single time as long as I play well outside of Korea.
Okay.
And pretty much that's what happened. And I was like, I believe myself, I trust myself, and I was like, damn, I think ULC is gonna be like easier than LCK, of course, because you mentioned that LCK was the by far best region at the 2014, 2015, because that's what happened.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't even close.
Yeah, pretty much. So, and also though, if I add one thing more, I was like pretty close to be SKT member at 2015.
Yeah.
Like I was at the Samsung member, and I moved to SKT. Kind of, I was like doing kind of tests, being a practicing member.
Right.
And then like Koma actually like loved me too. Like he liked me.
Yeah.
But the thing was like at 2015, the changes like they made up only one team from the 2 team, which is like you have only 5 players you can actually make in the words.
Yeah.
So like I was like, oh, the Marin was like here, and I know Marin is good. Can I beat Marin? I think to make sure there was like Easyhoon, Faker, Bang, Wolf, Marin.
Yeah.
Like it's only 6 people, you know? Like, can I be there as a Huni? I think I was like trying to think about myself that I think there's gonna be more chance to go to the other region, and then I gotta beat SKT at the worst, either MSI.
That would, yeah. I think but it's so interesting to me because I think if you asked most pro players, if I took most pro players and I said, you can be on the practice team for SKT or you can go play in Europe, a lot of players would actually choose to be on the practice team for SKT, right? Because of the pedigree of that organization at the time, world champions. But you made a different decision, and as you said, it really does speak to Huni, the kind of person Huni is, looking for adventures and wanting to try new things. So you make your way over to Europe, and you very quickly have the most dominant performances that anyone has ever seen in that region. What was that like, to make that transition to an entirely new region and instantly become the best? You were a practice player in Korea, and then you just become overnight the best player or the best team in Europe.
Of course, I think as I mentioned it, like I had like insane level of amount of the confidence level that I can play well. Like I trust myself, I believe myself, because like through my solo rank rather, like I was nearly like rank 1,
Yeah.
like rank 2, like every single time. Like when rank was there, like I'm there, every single time, and I was like, oh, I'm good, I guess that makes a help too, though. Like I think my ego was like pretty big enough to choose go to Europe over SKT practicing member too. And like I was like expecting that myself that I'm gonna do well in Europe LCS with Reignover, and pretty much that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, so then let's talk about that. The idea of ego. It's something that I've talked to Doublelift about in the past, and it's interesting to me that, again, Doublelift being one of the best players in his role in the world, and in particular here in North America, I would say the same thing for you. You've showcased that you're one of the best top laners in the world and one of the best top laners here in North America. How much do you think ego is important? Is it really important to have an ego to be a pro player?
I think you just need to find the balances. Of course, I think it's kind of abuse the answer. Like having ego, like it's not always like weaknesses. I think how you use your ego to like relate it between the team game, that's the more I think important to actually playing as a team. And I think individually, like if you have an ego enough, or like I think I'd rather have a ego than like just not have like has zero ego, because like I also need to trust myself, like having like you just need to expect it yourself that you're gonna do well.
Right.
So it's just like based on just trusting yourself that you're gonna play well. Like if you don't trust yourself, like who's gonna trust you? Like pretty much that's all. You just gotta trust yourself and go stage. I gotta do better like next time, even though you did like something bad. But those kind of types are, I think, is really good for having like big ego.
Have you always been a confident person? Even before professional League of Legends, in your younger years, were you always a pretty confident dude?
I don't think so. Not as much as like in playing on the video games. But I got confident through the actually playing the video games.
Okay.
Because of when I was young, also I was been playing for like StarCraft for a moment, and I was like best player in town, even though I was like young.
Yeah.
That was like, oh, maybe I'm pretty talented playing just video games. And then I got like friends, like that's kind of cultures in Korea that if you're playing like video games well, then you like your friends like asking, hey, how are you playing that well? Like, can I get some tip? Like they were like asking those kind of type of questions that like, and then I can just be along with like other people too. And from there, I think I got a lot confidence, like as a personality, that, oh, I can be like good entertainers, like as a person, like I can make like people kind of happy. Like those kind of things are, I think, help a lot by playing video games.
And you've built an entire career off of that. I mean, your play as well, of course. But did you realize, or at what point did you realize, I guess, in your career that Huni was going to become this big, icon? I mean, you are loved across the world, again, by fans of multiple regions because of your big, booming personality and the smiles that you put on people's faces and your ability to make people laugh. Like, when did you realize you were that big of a presence?
I guess it started from like Fnatic, like there was like a lot crowd was like chanting my name, and I felt like really good. And then when I see like video and like all the comments are like, damn, Huni is like so adorable. Like it makes me like happy. Like those type of, I think those kind of thing, or when I see it, like it makes me like feels good, of course, as a person. And also my personality was like, oh, like if I'm making them happy, I think I'm more happy than them, that actually I'm giving to them the happinesses. And wow, that's insane.
Does that put any extra pressure on you, though? The fact
Um,
that you are kind of this, this idol for a lot of people?
I think at the moment, I think I'm pretty chill, honestly.
You are pretty chill. I
Yeah.
can confirm that.
But before, definitely I was like, oh, like people were asking, hey Huni, can you do holo again? Like, and then like, those kind of thing was like kind of like pressured. But the like I realized is that I just do my like just be myself and just show my like personality, whatever, to fan, and that's what they love. Not like only specific thing that like I should be focused on. So as long as I realize that, I kind of like pressure down, like you're good, like just take a chill, and no matter what I do, and fans is gonna be like trust me, believe me, they're gonna like me. So just take a chill bit.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because what we don't talk about a lot in League of Legends especially is the effect that kind of like meteoric, very, very quick rise to the top can have on people, right? This idea that there's an expectation now. When you have this incredible split with Fnatic, win the EU LCS, 18-0, you can't do better than that. So now, every split beyond that, people expect the same performance out of you, and that's perfection. And we don't kind of talk about very often the amount of pressure that puts on certain players when the game is constantly changing to live up to that. And so I guess, did that play into your decision at all once you had that success in Europe to move on? Like, I've already done everything I can do here. I can't outperform a perfect split, so I got to leave?
I mean, definitely it's like really good questions that I really want to like touch on it. That like I definitely agree. Like doing 18-0, I don't think it's gonna be never again. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Like even though I made like 17-1 Immortals, like 62, like it's really
Close.
good result. But still, I was getting flamed that like I didn't make the 18-0, right?
Right.
Of course, that's like I agree that expectations like amount is like this starting with this, and like if I do this, then it's like of course like people is gonna be Huni's got
He's
worse.
Yeah. Even though this is still so much better than everyone else.
Yeah, but like I mean I think I should just take away like because I had this one through like this is the big amount that I built it, and that's also means like that's my like fan like brand, everything's included, and of course a fan is gonna be like I don't think they're gonna expecting that I'm gonna do worse than that.
Right.
Like of course definitely understandable, but I just need to do like show like prove them I'm trying best as much as I can all the time. Like I just need to find out the proof myself and also like to everyone that like the consistency that I'm just trying hard every single time.
Yeah.
I'm not like like 100% satisfied with I did 18-0, I gotta retire. It's not like that, like those as long as I keep that mindset kind of, I think it's fine. Even though like they're saying about like bad team, like because I did like 17-1 or a 16-2, like who cares? Like still I think it's more important that I got a happiness is that I made a 17-1 again. That's insane result.
Why do you think that Fnatic squad was able to go 18-0? You're the only team that's done it. Why were you guys able to be undefeated?
If it was if that question was like if I was at the Fnatic, I would have said because Huni was there, But for now, I think it was like I think our Fnatic level was like extremely high because as you guys know, it was like summer 18. We made a 18-0 and then we won, even though we were like playing whatever we want pretty much. And through there, like what it helped was MSI was a really big deal. It also, I think I remember it was 2015. It was in Tallahassee.
Yep.
Because it was good memories over there.
I was over here. But yeah.
And that was like most improved as a team. We learned like
In that event.
Yeah, in that event. Because like every single team that actually won every regions, only first places that team actually qualified.
Right.
And the events, and we were just playing like TSM, like SKT, like also we got like a lot confident through that because like I think for the Fnatic, we were like really good player, but I think we were like kind of lack of ourselves that are really like confidence level or like be more comfortable is that level is definitely not as much as like SKT or like other team, because like even Fabivan was kind of like rookie.
Yep.
Like definitely me and Rainoverse is like rookie too. Like we just got outside of the Korea.
Right.
And only thing that like Yellow Star was there as a like
Veteran.
dad, like position as a like role as a dad.
Yeah, the old man on the team.
Pretty much. And that's why I think we made like 2-3 result versus the SKT, and everyone was like shocked because like before, never ever Western team made 5 games
against
Asian team or like LCK team,
right?
And that was like shocked, and people were like, "Damn, the Fnatic's good, man!" And like we were like, "Oh, I guess we're good. Like we gotta show like what we learned from MSI through the." Summers played, and then that's why I think we got how to actually make the 18-0 like confidently.
So confidence, you think, plays a big role in the success of a team. Do you think that that's part of what's holding North America back when we look at how we perform internationally? That there's just not enough confidence in our ability to play?
I think so too. Like I think it's like one of the biggest differences. I think as any team, I don't think we have enough to trust ourselves that we can actually make off the group stage or like winning the worlds.
Right.
I feel like non-teams are having like goal that we're gonna win the worlds. Like that's what I feel. Like because that's kind of like I guess it's like realistically that just like we've been doing not well as much as like other reasons. So that's why I think like it makes sense that we don't have a confidence enough, but still I think the trust level or like that's kind of like the confidence level is not like high, definitely not high enough to be like reach the high level.
Right. And because you're in an interesting position. Not many LCS players have been as far in Worlds as you. We have a few world champions, and then we have you, a world finalist. What do you think is the major difference between the team SKT that you were on that made it to the World Finals and any of your other teams that weren't able to make it there? Was it just confidence? Was it that the coaching was better? Was it that you just had better players around you? What do you think makes the difference between your journey to the finals and your time on Fnatic and Immortals and even Clutch and Dig not going that far?
Honestly, the first I think answer I gotta say is like that's a different environment of how the esports built it, the cultures, which is like in LCK, which is like it already built it like really big through the StarCraft, and there was a lot player that watch the TV. Oh, there's a professional gamer that playing the video games and earning some money,
right?
And like that, damn, that job is so cool. Like everyone wanna be like playing video games whole day, and just like they get like a lot like owners like. That's the type of a thing that like what young people like approach to the like for the futures like, and that's why I think there's a lot player the basis that like want to be the professional player. Absolutely, like in even LPL right now is like popping off too.
Oh my god!
Even in LCK, it's like of course it's popping off all day, and I think that's the big difference is the
environment.
Pretty much.
Right. Well, because you were talking about even when you were a kid and you started to understand that you were really good at games, all your friends are standing around asking you for the tips and looking at you to become a pro. It's definitely kind of baked into the culture more in Korea. Do you think that then is something that has to happen here in North America? Do we have to get to the point that, young kids, middle schoolers and high schoolers are watching LCS and looking at that as a possible career? They have to start that early?
I think it's going to help.
Okay.
If you see like long term, I think definitely it's going to help because it's like it's going to happen, I think, for the future, definitely, because esports is getting bigger. And there's like a lot other games too that like the young kids are watching. Oh, damn, that's like so entertaining, Like I gotta play it for the future. It's like every kid is going like crazy, And that's the, I think, really big. I think it's gonna be really big key that is gonna slowly building up that the esports cultures that based on of like how many people want to be actual professional player.
Right.
The amount is gonna be, I think, is way bigger for the futures.
Yeah, bigger pool means we're going to have more good talent that eventually climbs to the top. I want to go back to the timeline. Let's kind of jump back to, okay, so we talked through Fnatic 18-0 season, went to quarterfinals Worlds that year, right?
Right.
And then from there, you decide to jump over to North America. And we talked a little bit about, okay, I've done undefeated in Europe. Now it's time to go to another region. Talk to me about day one North America. What was that experience like coming here for the first time? And
First of all, I think as a city, the LA,
Yeah.
it's like, dude, this
You
is
like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is legit. Like it's really good. And,
what about LA do you love so much?
I mean, I'm not flaming the Berlin. I'm not
Fair. No flame to Berlin. No flame to Berlin.
I'm just like type of a person that when I see like there's ocean, like the weather, Berlin was like raining 5 times of the week.
I hear that.
I couldn't really see the sun, but in LA, like the humidity is like fine.
Yeah.
Like, communities are already built up. Like there's a lot of Korean food. Like there's a lot of Korean too, and like, dude, this is the city.
Wow, I love that. I grew up in San Diego, so West Coast, Southern California, my whole life. So I feel that 100%. The food, you like the food here?
I mean,
Is that why you decided to come back after going to Korea?
pretty much
The food.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So you make it out here, and you're on Immortals. And again, you guys shock the world in the league. Yes, you don't go 18-0, but you go 17-1. You have this crazy dominant regular split again. Like, where is that coming from? Are you sitting on top of the world at this point? Do you feel like Michael Jordan? Or like, what's going through Huni's brain at this point? 2 years of just dominance across the board.
Yeah, I mean, same thing, like big ego.
Yeah.
I mean, just kidding. Like, anyway, like I saw like some comments that I had a 33 winning streak through the regular season.
Yep.
Like through 18-0, the summer split.
Yeah, I
like,
think you guys lost week 7 of spring split. So you had gone 18-0, and then you won for 6 weeks in a row in spring in North America, and then you lost to CLG in week 7. Unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, that was a Darshan Fury. I still remember.
Darshan Fiore. Okay, so yeah.
I still remember that one.
Some memories.
Yeah, of course I do remember it because that was a hurt, the 17-1. That was a hurt because what I won the 17, I don't remember anything. I don't even know how.
You don't remember the wins?
No, I don't know.
Just the loss.
Just the loss.
Of course, that makes perfect sense to me though. I mean, like, how much did that sting? Did you forget what losing felt like at that point? Before that one?
It's so sad actually. if I can go back, like I will try as much as I can, like definitely, like double or like triple. I mean, anyway, to go back to the like what my brain was going through when I have like 17-1 was the yeah. I mean, I made it. Like I think I proved that like Huni is definitely worth player, and even though we kind of lost one game, like definitely I had trust in myself that like I'm a good player.
Yeah.
I'm a good player and I'm doing well with Rainover. Like our team synergy is like really good. But I think through going to playoff, I remember I think we got like third places kind of. And that was like pretty big turning point that we're slightly losing our like confidence that maybe like people were saying like only Huni is like good at like regular season. That's why that was like what people were kind of talking about. And I was like slowly losing my confidence, even though I didn't even know myself that I was losing my confidence.
Right.
And I was like not being sure 100%ly that maybe I'm not. Oh no. Maybe I'm not good at playoff. Like am I only good at like regular season? Because like people only like focused on like they're dominating regular season, but always the Huni having like hard time at the playoff. And that was like
Do you think, were you able to recognize that then, or is this the perspective that you have now, looking back, saying, ooh, I think I was losing confidence, but at the time, you didn't think you were losing confidence, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
I didn't know myself too. That was a point, I think.
Right, because I want to talk about a couple things that happened that year. There's some wacky stuff happened that year. Really, really interesting picks coming out in the top lane. Everyone will remember Lucian top lane. That was Huni's thing, and we saw some dominant performances on it, but we also saw it fail in the playoffs. Regardless of its results, what I want to talk about is the confidence of a player who brings out a pick that no one else is thinking of, that no one else is willing to try or even thinks will work. Why were you looking for those things, right? Like, if you could just beat people on Rumble or on Maokai or on any of these things, like, why is Huni looking for these crazy new inventive picks and, playing Lucian in the top lane?
I think, go back to the same thing, like probably big ego.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, also didn't know myself that, as I mentioned it, like I was losing confidence, but I didn't know.
Right.
Because then like I was more pressured. The pressure level is getting higher. And then like people like probably like I was thinking like, oh, I gotta show to the people that Huni thinks, like I need to show them like what I'm doing, like what I'm really good at it. Like they want to see I'm dominating the people, like every single team. Like that's why I think becomes a kind of like wacky things.
Mm-hmm.
Like top Lucian was not the kind of meta. That's
right.
what I assume.
And I think that's part of what I'm getting at here. I think there's a few different angles we can take. One would be, again, there's this expectation. Everyone wants to see Huni dominate. Well, it's kind of hard to dominate if you're playing Maokai, or at least it's not fun to watch, right? So do you think that going for things like Lucian was more because of the expectation that your fans had, that Huni's he's a dominant player, he's going to solo kill his opponent, he's going to take the turret first, all this kind of stuff, so I need to play aggressive stuff? Or do you think that that's just a necessary part of being a top-tier pro player, that you're going to go search for ways to break the meta? Top tier players are usually the ones who define the meta, right? We don't look at what the 10th place top laner is doing and say, I gotta play the champions he's playing, right? We play the champions that the top tier team is playing. So you can look at it one way and say it's experimentation. I'm trying to push the limits. The other way is there's this undue expectation by the fans and the audience that I'm going to put on this show. So I'm just going to pick things that people appreciate in that regard, but might not be competitively the best. Which bucket do you think you were in?
I think it's pretty much both.
Okay.
But I think more was the important was like I had a confidence through the result of the top Lucian that I play on this cream, and the result was like
Super
extremely
dominant.
good. It was like super dominant.
We heard, and that's the thing, we kept hearing that on the broadcast. Everyone was like, "This has been smashing scrims." He's like
Everywhere.
not lost a single one.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like 9-0.
No, I think I think it was like 24-1, something like that. 24 win and 1 loss.
Whew.
But it was the lane swap meta.
Right.
And the one loses was, I think, the lane swap meta.
Okay. So then people get lane swap against it.
And that was what happened, but at the playoff. But I think I did the kind of proof. If there's no lane swap, like right now, it's like if you see the Lucian, it's like kind of permaban, like everywhere. Like I think that was a thing that was in my brain. If you have a Lucian in a solo lane, how
do you beat it?
how's the enemy jungler is gonna play or like laner is gonna play when they're getting this much pressure?
Mm-hmm.
That was going through my brain, and I actually proved through the scream, but just that was not the meta that you couldn't like really do because of course there was like lane swap, like top and bot, and I was like duty of the clearing super minion when I'm like level 4 Lucian.
Yeah. How are you feeling after that summer split, before going back to Korea for SKT, right after that summer split, you'd had a 17-1 season in spring, didn't win. You had a 16-2 season in summer, having lost both series to TSM, and then didn't win in the playoffs. Where was your head at? Like, were you disappointed, depressed, sad?
I think
motivated?
Yeah, I mean, I finally like I realized is that maybe I'm not like good at actual playoff, and that was like really a sad thing. That when I just realized that if I'm as a player, professional player, if I'm not good at postseason, which is like playoff, then like, what am I gonna be? Like, if just playing for regular season and just get benched at playoff.
Oof.
You don't want to be
I don't like
that.
the sound of that. I don't like the sound of that.
So like, that was like kind of like depressed that, oh, maybe the peoples are like correct. You know, like I think as a professional player, also like duty is like, or like most happiness is when I get that point is like when I prove the people are wrong, like the Dignitas, you know.
Yeah. I love it.
So I'm pretty happy right now.
I know you're proving a lot of people wrong. I will be one of the first to admit. We're going to talk about 2020 Dignitas in a bit, but I'll be the first to admit I didn't think you guys would be as good as you already are. So I'm excited to talk about what's working in 2020, but I do want to keep going down the timeline. So we have. I'm going to do air quotes disappointing because, again, you guys still had dominant regular seasons and you still finished well in North America. Now talk to me about the transition back to Korea. So you're going back home, but you're also now joining the most historic organization in the history of League of Legends as a top laner. But there's so give me your thoughts first on that process. What did that feel like when SKT hit you up and said, you're our top laner?
No, I mean definitely. I think the story of how I joined, SKT was I kind of baited Koma.
You baited him? All right, give me the story. Tell me the story.
The story of how I joined into SKT was I contact to Koma that I think I'm interested. Go back to LCK team, and I hear SKT top laner was empty.
Yeah, it's a free spot. See an opening.
And from there, I was asking like, Koma, hey, let's grab some coffee, at the cafe. And I was talking like, Koma was like, are you good? And I was like, I think I'm the best.
Oh, okay. So the confidence was still there.
Yeah, definitely.
We still had confidence.
Definitely.
Huni. Okay.
Huni equal ego,
Yes, exactly.
So, and then like Koma was like, he saw like how confident I am, and like he realizes that, as a Huni, before I go back to Fnatic, even when I was in Fnatic, he knew that like I'm actually like really scared like player to actually persist it.
Okay.
I was like really. I think I did a lot when I went up versus SKT and MSI. Even like at wars like Scream, we play a lot versus SKT, and then we had like 85% of the win rate versus
nice.
SKT. And like Koma was like, "Oh, the Huni was good back then."
Yeah.
As long as he was like telling me that as long as you try hard as much as you can at every single time when you're in part of the SKT, I will let you in it. And I was like, yeah, of course. That's the Huni, man.
All right.
And I joined it.
So what was it like having Koma as a coach?
I think I only mentioned a lot like through the interview. Like there was like a lot asking that like how's the Koma doing, and I was like, he's the real man.
Is he the best coach in the world?
Yeah, he's the real man.
Yeah.
And I think I learned a lot like as a person also, and even like in game. Like, I don't think I learned as much as like outside of the game.
Wow.
So like kind of like mindset or like motivate, like those kind of like mentality stuffs are like really kind of important. Honestly, like even though you're a good player, if you have bad mindset, like you can't be part of the team.
Right.
So like I learned a lot from Koma that like how I should be like holding my pressures, that even though the expectations like really big, like I should know how to like release the pressures myself and like outside of too.
Yeah.
Like those things were like really helped a lot. And I think how I am right now, this spot is like I think I learned from Koma.
Okay.
That's why.
Yeah, Koma is kind of an enigma, at least for those of us in North America. Again, he's on this pedestal as the greatest coach in League of Legends, but for a lot of us, we still don't really have a good idea of what the process is like, what it's like to be coached by Koma. Oh my God, I would kill to get coached by Koma. Okay, but so you go back to Korea, and boom, spring split, win the LCK. So now you've won a title in two different regions. You've won Europe. You've won the LCK on SKT. Didn't win Summer. Go to Worlds as the second seed for Korea and make it all the way to the finals. Walk me through that season because was an interesting one where some of those pieces of Huni that people fell in love with, the Lucian top, those things went away. In part because of the meta, but also it felt like in part because you were on SKT. So did you have to sacrifice a little bit of what made Huni individually special in order for SKT to be that successful?
I think definitely not.
No.
Like Koma was like giving me a lot of opportunity to prove that this champion is the meta. Like I nearly played top Lucian when I was at SKT.
Okay.
I was like playing GP a lot, like Rumble a lot, and that if I was playing well, like Koma was like letting me actually just playing everything whatever I want.
Okay.
But I think the main reason why the people were thinking about like I was getting like belt out from Koma was like the first game was like I think it was like Maokai, second game like Maokai,
Yeah.
third game Poppy, fourth game Poppy,
All the
five
tanks.
game Maokai, and that's why I think the like people are thinking
perception.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you see actually the result of the tournament, what I play on the champion was I think more there's a damage deal champion actually.
Okay.
And that's like really interesting part of the like when I see the result. Oh, I thought that my most player was like Maokai or Poppy something
Right.
like that. But actually, but it's not. You know, it's not
that's
like
funny.
all the tanks. Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting. I guess it's just the perception because it is out of character for you to be playing. Then that's what sticks in people's brains. So let's talk about getting so close to winning a world championship, but not quite getting it. What was the immediate feeling to being on the world stage and having that opportunity?
I think if Koma didn't tell me the one sentences, then I would have been like really, really depressed.
What did he tell you?
And
If
I
you
would
don't
have been-
mind me asking.
yeah, I will say it.
Okay.
I would have been really disappointed if didn't say that Koma was like, I'm still happy that we play every single tournament what we can.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Because we've been to MSI final, Warriors final, LCK 2 times final. And like when I'm thinking about, oh, even though people are like, oh damn, Huni didn't perform as well as much as Kuve. Like, of course, because that's the only one tournament that it appears at the moment. And I would have got it like kind of depressed or
Okay.
like really disappoint myself. But when Koma telling me that, oh, we did such a great job.
Yeah.
Still, like we did something good, you know. Like even though it was like tough one, like definitely it was a tough one after MSI. Like a summer split was tough. Like LCK summer playoff was tough.
Uh-huh.
Like even the Warriors was not the easiest. We play 5 games of the semifinal, 5 games of the quarterfinal versus Misfits and RNG was not the easiest. But we gotta respect that what we put effort, how much we put the effort into, we made it far up until like the final of the Worlds. So I think that was a really big key that I could be like more motivated,
Yeah.
and be more entertaining, be professional player in LCS. Those kind of things are like that sentence were like really really big.
Yeah, that's very good perspective to have there. You've not only played for what is considered the best coach in the world, you've also played alongside who is considered to be the best player in the world, Faker. Give me a little sense of what it's like to play with Faker. Is he really the unkillable Demon King? Like, how do you describe Faker? What was that experience like?
I think also Faker is a kind of type of the ego player too.
Really?
Yeah, be like really confident, like, and like really, he's like really, he knows how to enjoy the play the game, and he knows how to win pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think I've never seen before that much the type of I've never seen before that much a vertical player as much as him. Like he's nearly talking everything, like what he can, like
Yeah.
as much as he can. He's just fully talking everything. Just call like even though I'm top, he's just calling from mid like, Huni, you gotta do blah 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 blah. Like,
Really?
yeah. And then I learned a lot from him too.
Wow.
I think also how he plays like really impressive. But I was like more impressive was how he make the call and like making like own his decision, because it's honestly, even though you're a shot caller, let's say if I'm a shot caller in clutch gaming,
Yeah.
then like that's a lot pressure honestly. Like because like if you made a decision once there's something wrong, then the 5 people going wrong places. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you just lose, and that's like a lot pressure. And that's why I think the pressure, even though he's getting like insane amount of pressure to the faker, even though he's getting it, but he knows like how to release, and he deserved to take it. That's why he think, and then he just call everything like whatever he want, and
Yeah.
the accurate is like really high than any other single player. That's what I think.
That's fascinating. So now let's go. We'll jump back to North America, 2019 Clutch. Why did you decide to come back to North America after being in the World Finals, representing Korea? What was the decision process like? Was this because you wanted to win a world championship here? Was it because you wanted to win domestically here? Why come back here of all places?
I think first of all, also it was like really tough road going until the final, the Worlds, and I knew I can do it again. But the more point was like, since I failed in 2016 with the Immortals in LCS, like I still like to prove myself that I can be still good at LCS.
Okay.
And it goes back to again, I think like I'm a type of the kind of persons that more adventurous, that I need, if I want to do something, I gotta do it.
Right.
But I failed it, so I gotta do it again.
Gotta do it again.
Yeah, I'm going until I can.
Get back up and try again. I love it. Because I think a lot of people, right, they'd go to the World Finals representing Korea, they win LCK, they win LEC, they'd probably be like, I know I didn't win LCS, but I can, right? And they'd be like, that would be enough for them, is to make the statement. But you actually want to come here and do it. Didn't get the win last year on Clutch, but an interesting trajectory for Clutch, kind of, because in late summer, you guys make this surge towards playoffs, rebrand to Dignitas as Dignitas comes in as new ownership, and you guys go to Worlds. What was that transition like? Because there was a very clear shift when it became Dignitas. It seemed like there was this very clear shift in mentality, and the whole team just kind of took off. Why was that? You guys didn't really change anything. The players didn't change, but the team all of a sudden started working.
I think first, I think if I gotta say something, that probably there was a big differences from the company staff, which is like, I think the CEO, which is Michael Prindy, and he was like really giving us like passions, like why are we like what are we doing right now? We got the like spring 9 places, and then we're still not doing we're still not like trying hard as much as we can. Like this is like, he was like, this is ridiculous. Like this cannot be happening at the pro scene, man.
Yeah.
Like, he was like almost like mad that he was like trying to explain that why you guys need to just working on harder and harder and to prove the people why they're wrong, because like our expectation was like nearly like
right,
not even like
the opposite of the old expectation for Huni, right? Now all of a sudden the expectation's down here.
Pretty much. And that was all that happened. And I was like, yeah, right. Like this is like not a Huni that I know,
Yeah.
Like I got a better job, man. Like,
so it's a little kick in the ass.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's good. Sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need a little kick in the ass, right? So Worlds happens. We move to the off season, and this is where the big story really starts to unfold, which is that you get re-signed with Dignitas. First time you've ever stuck with an org 2 years in a row, because you've always moved every year. So one, that's already a big note. But I think more interestingly is the idea that the team chooses to build around you, right? There's a very clear decision in the offseason when we sign Huni for a really big contract that this is Huni's team now, right? It's not Faker's team and Huni's the top laner on Faker's team. This is Huni's team. What was the conversation around that like? Were you involved in the conversations of, okay, we're going to re-sign you and build this team? Did you have a big hand in choosing the rest of the roster and building the new Dignitas?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, honestly, like even last year, like for example, even Echo Fox, if I was like resigning with Echo Fox, probably it would have been like, oh, Echo Fox is a Huni's team.
Yeah.
It would have been like pretty much just, I think, similar stuff. But I think but I was like really impressed that like how the actually can CEO that making the people like this amount of the changing is gonna, I think, like really really, really impressive. Because
Mhm.
like as a one person nearly changed like whole team. And like
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
the
you're
real
the
man,
only
you know?
returning roster. You got
Yeah.
4 new players.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the roster?
I mean, first of all, well, like honestly, I was like kind of scared too.
Yeah.
Because it's like definitely like people were like expecting Dignitas is bottom, like 10th places, or like
Mhm.
if they're doing well, it's gonna be a maximum like 6 places. You know? Like,
Yeah, I was kind of one
well, I
of
was
those
like,
people.
oh, no,
My
man.
heart,
Like,
my
and, like,
heart.
but definitely, as soon as I get back to in LA and then get into practice, like I play with them, and I think they're much better than what I expected.
Yeah.
Even I was like scared too, like because like can I play like with a Frog and Afro Johnson Greek man? Like
Right?
that's what people were talking about, right? Too.
Yeah, I mean, and if we talk about some of the, I don't know, associations that people were making to the team, one of the associations was that this was the washed up team. Yes, we got some of the younger guys in Johnson and Grigg, but they're saying, well, Froggen, he was a god in EU, and yeah, he's a middle of the pack North American mid laner, but he's never really achieved anything since he got to North America. Huni, he's washed. He went to the World Finals, but then Clutch wasn't, didn't have a great season. He's on the downslide. Afro Moose, same story last year with the 100 Thieves. People are saying, oh, he's a washed up. He's no good anymore. Blah blah blah. Do you guys think you're washed up?
If you think that, probably.
The answer is no.
I mean, if you guys think that way as a professional player, then like I don't think you can be a professional player anymore. If you think that yourself that oh damn, I'm washed up, that means like that's the time that probably you need to retire.
Right.
So
and I think it's important to just let everyone know, Huni, you just turned how old?
22.
22 in December, my friends. 22 years old. He just turned. Who else is 22? You know who else is 22? DeMonte. DeMonte is 22. And I think I bring this up because I think it lays an interesting perspective on the scene, which is that you've been around for a long time. So people have this image of you being an older League of Legends player. But DeMonte is looked at as like up and coming new talent. You're both the same age. You clearly have plenty of life left in you. I mean, you look at a player like Xmithy, who's still smashing the LCS, and he's one of the oldest at 28. Do you believe there's a lifespan for gamers? How long do you think Huni can be playing professional League of Legends? 32? 40? 45? 45-year-old Huni still going to be smashing it in the top lane?
But honestly, I think my real answer is going to be my expectations for myself is I don't think I can play until like 28.
Really?
Yeah, because I think even though there's a lot of player for or like all of the ages, like 27, 26, like over 25, but like for me, it's like I've been playing a lot when I was young.
Yeah.
I think that's the big key that like I might not be able to play a like long time because maybe they start like from like 22, but I'm right now 22. Already has been playing for 6 years, and I started when I was like 16 or like 17, and I think that's the big difference is that I might not be able to play like that long time.
Okay,
but still, I think my goal is like still I would like to bring the entertaining to like my fans,
right?
Like,
but you don't think age is like prohibitive, right? You don't think. I mean, I'm sure there's a point, right? Sure that you can. Yeah, there's a point definitely where eventually it's going to become prohibitive, but I don't think it's as stark as a lot of people say it is. Like, oh, once you're 28, you can no longer be a pro gamer.
I think it's really specific. Like, for example, for myself, like when I was with Fnatic, I used to play Riven, but as soon as I get LA, I can't.
No more. Yeah, only young guys like Viper.
Yeah.
Young guys, young whippersnappers.
I'm too old for that, you know?
I love it. I love it. So what is the synergy like on this team? How did you guys approach strategy in 2020? I'm going to let you answer first before I tell you what, for example, I was thinking about this team before I saw it. But I want to know how you guys talked about what Dignitas would look like this split.
I mean, of course, most of people were thinking about like we might not be able to sync well between the player because we have a like big player as a 3, like top, mid, support.
Yeah.
So like the people were like, damn, the Greek probably need a 3 body for jungling.
That's exactly what everyone was thinking.
But I think definitely I think if go through details that I mentioned it as soon as I get into practice, it was really fine because it's everyone, I think they know we should sync well. I think the worry about the point of the worry, what they made from the people was I think that was really good medicine. It was really good pills for us that everyone knows. Everyone see what people are saying pretty much. And,
right.
That means as long as we think well, that we're gonna be for sure better than what people expected.
Yeah.
And I think we were focusing a lot, probably even everyone sacrificing for the team, and then trying to make a good argument, having some good conversation, this when this type of the play, we should do this. Then it's everyone's agree.
Okay.
Those type of thing were really important. And also I think compared to last year, Afromu, Frogan, Greg, I guess Johnson has no result, but
no,
they're so much better right now.
Yeah.
They're trying really, really hard. How they're putting as resource right now is probably I've never seen before. They're this good amount, I think.
That's awesome to hear. I think to represent what a lot of people are, just myself was thinking coming in, I had some questions around the synergy of the team, exactly as you said. My concerns were particularly the top side of the map. So you, Greg, and Froggen, how would you three work together? And my concern was that, as history has shown, Huni likes to play aggressive. Huni's going to be in the opposing top laner's face 100% of the time. I expect you to be under their turret and pressuring. But in a lot of ways, the opposite is the expectation for Froggen, right? That he's going to absorb pressure and just farm until, 200 plus CS, and then he'll start making plays. So the concern was, with a mid lane that's always pushed in and a top lane that's always extended, how do they protect or play around Huni? I was worried he'd be exposed and maybe taken advantage of by the opposing jungler. That's not what happened, though. In fact, in the very first game of the split, the most impressive thing was how quickly and how repeatedly Froggen was able to get out of his lane and come to the top side with Greg and just completely snowball that half of the map. Was that an adjustment, or did that happen naturally, within the team? Did you guys find that synergy naturally, or was this something that you guys had to make a conscious decision, I'm going to ask Froggen to play different than he normally would to support my play style?
I mean, that's the already key that I didn't even need to ask what Froggen to do. He already realizes that what he needs to do, and that's the nearly meta. Whoever get the prio, that's right now is already really, really big advantage for all the game.
Yeah.
And he realizes that, he knows about it, but I didn't even need to ask anything.
Wow.
And he's, I think right now it's really vocal too, that he knows how to make the play too. He knows how to make the call, since he's been playing for how many years? I don't know, more than me, 8 years, 9 years.
He's been playing for all of them, all of the years.
Pretty much. So that's why I think he knows it's not only that he should be get pushed in. Probably he was that his team was the if he has no pressure, of course he need to farm inside of turret.
Right.
And of course the people looks gonna be worse if you're worse team.
Yeah.
No matter what. Even though you're a worse player, if you're at the better team, you look fine, I think it's pretty much is similar type of the things that people can see easily, oh, this person is good or not.
Yeah. We talked about how the expectation for Dignitas in 2020 wasn't that high. A lot of people are saying, maybe top 6. But I want to know which teams you're looking at to be your biggest competition, right? Well, you've already had a 2-0 start. You're proving a lot of people wrong in the top 6 conversation. What are the teams that you think are going to give you guys the most trouble this split?
I think ourselves.
You think yourselves?
Yeah, ourselves.
Interesting take.
Ourselves.
Okay. Why?
Because I think we made a 2-0, but I've seen a lot of team went 2-0 and they lose. As long as I think we can't be satisfied make a 2-0, and we nearly versus was not even like. I would be probably satisfied if it was like the first week C9 and Liquid,
Right.
if it makes sense.
Okay.
But definitely it was
If
not,
you got wins over those two teams.
yes,
Yeah.
But right now I don't think we should be satisfied. But we can be happy that we can take the happinesses to actually be more motivated. We can actually do better job than anyone else.
Yeah.
And that should be the approach. That should be the approach that how we want to like practice going through this split.
Right.
And I think the starting with the 2 is really good since we have like new player like Greg has no like experience as much as other people. Even Johnson,
Yeah.
he's just nearly dabby. He's just born. You know?
Yeah. To start 2-0 for the rookie Johnson, I mean, that's got to be a big boost to confidence. But then we can kind of come back to the conversation of ego. 2-0 can give you a lot of confidence, but there's also the danger of having too much confidence, right? And I think that's where you speak to. We can be happy, but we have to keep grinding to stay at the front. Are you already thinking about another 18-0 season, though? You're 2-0. Are you thinking about it?
Oh, kind of.
Yeah, I thought so. I knew it. I knew Huni would be thinking about an 18-0 season. I mean, it could, you know.
I mean,
the way
no
you
one,
guys are playing.
no one knows. We gotta play versus everyone.
Exactly.
We just need to see until it happened. Like that's the esports thing. Is like you can't nearly make a predict. Like everyone was Dignitas is gonna be bad. We nearly rank 1 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Those aren't. So you think your own team will be your own biggest struggle, which is great. I love that. A battle against ourselves. In terms of other players in the league at the moment, who do you look at as being stars of the LCS this year? Outside of yourself, we already know that Huni's a star.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say my name immediately.
You can say it. Still say it. Say it just to say it. No, but I am curious. I'm curious because, whether it be because of play or maybe if you want to talk about somebody from a personality perspective, who's going to be the next big star like Huni? Who's going to be Huni's big rival?
Like a rising star.
Yeah, rising star that's going to try and take Huni down. Who's coming for your job?
If I'm real Huni here,
Nobody's close.
But I mean, there's a lot of stars. Like I think I'm still really impressed is that like Impact, for example, he's been playing for like a while.
Yeah.
And still, I think I can easily see how he putting the effort to be like just like the stay of what he has. Like he's trying to keep what he have and. Like even I think Double Lift, I think it's really impressive too.
Yeah.
That he's been playing for like wild, and he's still really trying hard too. And he's been performing like really fine. And I was like, wow. Like if I'm playing for like 8 years, I can't even like sure that I will be playing like that well and like putting resource that much. Because I'm more like probably adventurous persons that maybe I want to go other game and be a professional player. You know what I mean? Like,
is that something you've actually thought about? I was just about to ask for you to reflect on just your League of Legends career, just the idea that this game and your professional career has taken you on so many adventures. You've traveled the world. You've been to so many different places. You've built all these relationships with so many cool people. I was going to ask you to reflect on that, but now I'm kind of curious. Has it sparked a desire to say, like, maybe at some point I'm going to try my hand at a different game, a new adventure?
As long as I am good at that game. Like,
yeah.
But
what other games are you good at?
The funny thing is that I'm actually more talented at FPS, the shooter game.
Really?
Yeah. That's
okay.
like
So
that's
Project A.
Like that's like that was like really interesting. Probably people don't know like that much. Like after Immortals, we failed a playoff, and then it was a Noah Winston. He has a CEO.
Yep.
He was like offering me that. Are you interested at the off season trying to be a professional player for the Overwatch
team?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because I was like rank 1.
Oh jeez. Ah jeez. It must be tough to be so good at so many things, Huni. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean that was like kind of my concert, and like I denied it. I gotta play solo queue in LCK. Or so Korea solo queue. And then my dream is joining LCK. I mean, which is I got the dream that I join SKT the solo queue in Korea.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, pretty much, I think I still feel like I think I can make a desire that I kind of want to try the more thing, but since I'm getting old, and I don't know, like, depends on how long I'm gonna play for League of Legends.
I was about to make me a promise before we go, which was just promise me you won't go to another game until you win a world title for the LCS.
Pretty much.
Okay, so win worlds for the LCS, and then you can go play
Got
in
it.
a shooter.
And
We have a deal?
that's the time that
We
I
have a
live.
deal?
Yeah.
All right, we shake on that.
That's the
There
time
it is.
that's the time that I'm out of this building.
All right, fair enough. Huni, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. That's all the time we have left for this chat with Huni. If you enjoyed it, please throw us a like. Let us know who else you'd like to queue up with in the future. Make sure you tune in, though, because Huni is playing Team Liquid and FlyQuest this week. FlyQuest is another one of those hot teams right now.
Ooh.
And then Team Liquid still trying to find their footing and get a victory. Again, Huni, thank you so much. I'll see you this weekend.
Appreciate it.